My fiancé brought a stranger to his grandfather's funeral. He made the woman kowtow, saying he wanted grandpa to see who his real granddaughter-in-law was. The whole crowd watched in silence, gauging my reaction. But I couldn't care less. My eyes were fixed on my fiancé's younger uncle, the man in black, skin as pale as jade. Striking. Too striking. Before we go on, please subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. Mountain cemetery, wind slanting, drizzle falling. Old Ashford had returned to the earth, and every arrival paused beneath umbrellas, wordless. A woman's voice rose from behind me. Jason, isn't it rude of me to show up like this? What's rude about it? Grandpa's gone, let his real granddaughter-in-law come pay respects. It's only right. My brows lifted at the arrogance in his tone. I turned with the others. Sure enough, my fiancé, Jason. Behind him he was towing a girl who stumbled along, nervous, half hidden by his body. Richard's voice cracked like a whip. Jason, stop this nonsense, have you no sense of occasion? Dad, I'm not fooling around. He yanked the girl forward and announced to every Ashford relative, this is the only woman I'll ever claim. Jo Nyen Nyen, kowtow with me. They dropped to their knees and knocked their foreheads twice against the wet turf. Richard stormed over and kicked his son. Lily is standing right here. You trying to raise your grandfather from the dead? Plenty of heads swiveled toward me, pity in their eyes. After all, old Ashford himself had once cupped Jason's hand and mine to seal the engagement, and now this spectacle. Jason wasn't leaving me a shred of dignity. Jason stood and pointed at me. I'll never tie myself to this boring woman. Dad, spend 5 minutes with Nyen and you'll see how great she is. Jo Nyen looked terrified, eyes like a startled fawn. She tugged his sleeve. Jason, don't speak to your father that way. We're the ones in the wrong. Jason opened his mouth again, but Richard snapped for security and had his son hauled off. Richard shot me an apologetic glance and waved the service onward. The funeral would finish first. As the crowd dispersed I saw Jo Nyen whisper something in Jason's ear. She darted over and planted herself in front of me. Sis, I'm sorry about today, but... Her expression shifted, eyes narrowing. I won't give Jason up. He loves me. I let out a soft laugh. Poor kitten showing me her claws. Look, you're pretty, do yourself a favor and raise your standards. Try ordering something better from the menu. Jo Nyen's lips parted, then Jason's voice rang out behind her. That's enough, Nyen. Don't waste breath on her. You're too kind, even apologizing. We have nothing to apologize for. Tears pooled instantly in her eyes. Say what you like about me, sis, but don't you dare say Jason's not wonderful. To me he's the best. I mentally whistled. Haven't seen amateur green tea this crude in years. Yet Jason, bless his dim little heart, drinks it straight. Furious on her behalf, he opened his mouth to scold me. Richard's warning cough from across the lawn stopped him. With no room to make a scene, Jason led Jo Nyen away. 2 steps on I still caught their murmur, it's okay, Jason. Maybe Lily's bitter because she can't have you. I rolled my eyes so hard I almost checked the clouds. As if Jason were some prize worth raging over. If you ask me, the man worth wanting was right ahead, tall frame beneath a black umbrella, head to toe black, leather gloves, rain-beaded hair framing a porcelain face, long legs wrapped in tailored trousers. Striking. Too striking. Jason has always thought I'm crazy for him. We've known each other since kindergarten, out of dozens of kids I always picked him. In elementary school I let him copy my homework. When he once tumbled into a theme pool I ran for help so fast I skinned both knees. College only made him worse, nightly binges at the speakeasy, ring in. Jimmy to collect him while he kissed another girl goodbye right in front of me. I'd smile, never angry. Everyone said I was his lapdog. I had my reasons. Letting him copy homework kept parents from comparing our report cards. Constant praise is exhausting. The pool panic? The park had just opened. If a kid drowned my family's investors would bolt. I stuck by him because the Ashfords and the Cavendishes do business together, and, sure, because the Ashford Gene pool is unfairly gorgeous. My father and grandfather probably wine and dine them just to look at them. I tolerate Jason the way one tolerates an overpriced painting, paying for the view. Anger? Only real feelings spark anger. I never had any for Jason. You can't marry a man that thick anyway. When old Ashford clasped our hands and declared us engaged I wanted to vanish. If only it had been another man. Now I'm grateful Jason staged his cemetery farce. Grandfather, I didn't break the promise, your golden boy dumped me. And since tastes differ, I don't want your grandson, I want your youngest son. I watched the man stride toward us and let my bottom lip tremble. Uncle Lucien, how unfair. Lucien hesitated, then exhaled. Jason's been spoiled rotten. Don't take it to heart. Let me drive you home. He passed his umbrella to an aide, peeled off his black gloves, and offered his hand, elegant, effortless. I wanted to shove Zhou Yanyan's face toward him. This is what a grown man looks like. I slipped my fingers into his and leaned in, playing bereft. You're kind. This is the first time I've seen you since we grew up. Mom says you used to bottle feed me better than she could. The Ashford second son was a late blessing, only 7 years older than me. When our parents gallivanted, they'd park me at the Ashford estate and leave me with Lucien and Jason. She still jokes that grade school Lucien handled a bottle like a pro. He hummed an acknowledgement. I studied his profile and said no more. The man had just buried his father. I could behave. In the car I sat docile as a doll. Lucien stared at the misted mountains, brows clouded. Finally he told the driver, "Let's go." The car eased downhill. He tilted his seat back and closed his eyes. I watched the sharp line of his cheekbone, thinking. The mountain road was uneven, even the chauffeur couldn't keep every sway away, and Lucien's frown deepened. I poked his arm. He opened his eyes as I pulled a small airplane model from my bag. Tiny, delicate, its tail rudder cracked and glued. "Uncle, this is yours." He studied it without reaching. I explained. The night Ashford passed, I stopped by the house. Staff were clearing his study. Richard wanted everything burned. But the model, Grandpa used to stare at it and sigh. He said it belonged to you, so I kept it. Lucien took it at last, voice flat. He smashed it in a fight with Mom when I was small. I blamed him a long time. Him meant grandfather. The rumor is grandmother stormed out after that quarrel and died in the crash that followed. Lucien left for overseas soon after. I nodded and turned away. The mountain road stretched. I drifted off. Just before sleep I heard a soft thank you. Back on campus every gaze felt like popcorn waiting to pop. My best friend Sophie pounced. "Where have you been?" Jason hijacked the radio station and serenaded Zhou Yanyan. He swore she's his only woman now. He even said what? I arched a brow. A classmate cut in, gleeful. "That you're a lost puppy tagging after him. He'd rather date a real dog than you." "Huh. Thought you were untouchable, Lily. Now that Jason's done with you, what's left?" I gave her a winter-cold stare. "You're finished. I'm calling my board first thing tomorrow. Daddy's pulling your family's credit line. You can't punish me just because." "Sure I can. Theory, I'm still Jason's fiancé, which makes your girl the other woman. You cheer for home wreckers, so we don't trade with trash." Her jaw locked. "You're mouthy because you're hurting. Wait till Jason shows up, let's see how smug you are." When Jason arrived I looked at him the way a grandmother regards a disappointing grandchild. To onlookers it was further proof of my hopeless love. Jason shuddered. "Stop staring, Lily. I belong to Nyenyen now. Go to my parents tonight and break the engagement." I lifted a brow. "No can do. You're the tainted one, you do the quitting." If I went I'd look petulant, Catherine would cry and cling. Let Jason bear the scandal, while I play wounded and angle for Lucien as compensation. Heh. Fine. I know you can't let go. Write me a pledge, we marry for show, you stay out of my life with Nyenyen, and any kid inherits everything. Dream big. Your little white flower's okay being a forever mistress?" Jason's face twisted, but he stood firm. "She comes from nothing. Life with me beats some post-grad job. I can give love or status, not both." "Jason, I never realized." Zhou Nyenyen appeared in the doorway, frozen by his words. Jason whipped around, tears slipped down her cheeks on cue. "Nyenyen, leave me alone. I'm not what you think." She ran, he chased, neither could fly. I opened my book. Make a grown man beg. Kids chase their own chaos, I've got better things to do. Zhou Nyenyen's tears worked. Jason came to break the engagement that night. My mother didn't argue, she simply nodded. Maybe because she offered no resistance, Jason lingered, puzzled. After a while my mom got annoyed. "Do you still have business here? Auntie, aren't you going to try and talk him out of it?" She waved her hand. "Talk him out of what? I didn't think much of you either." No, I mean, cough, Jason, you're a child I watched grow up. I want both of you to chase your own happiness, so break that engagement, boldly." Jason succeeded in breaking the engagement and left looking disappointed. I was over the moon, I could finally pursue Lucien out in the open. For the next few days I went to Riverdale as usual, then came home and studied how to make a grown man lose his mind over me. I hadn't gone out for several nights, so Sophie assumed I was brooding over Jason. But I hadn't given him a single thought. The faint, forbidden scent rolling off Lucien had kept me awake for nights. Just as I was wondering how to invent an excuse to visit the Ashford estate, an engraved invitation to a family banquet arrived. My eyes lit up, my chance had come. Catherine delivered it herself, asking only my family, probably hoping to repair things between Jason and me. Because it was an Ashford family banquet, Lucian would be there. When I arrived, he was toying with the camellias in the courtyard. After several nights of textbook research, I believed I was now terrifyingly strong. Today I deliberately dressed the opposite of last time. The book said, to capture a man, master contrast and change. Last time I'd been all modest elegance, today a red mini dress, hair curled, collarbones just showing. When I stepped in front of the Ashfords like this, Lucian's face didn't flicker, but Jason shook his head repeatedly, expression complicated, a faint glee in his eyes. Lily, I know exactly why you dressed like that, but even if you're trying to seduce me, I won't give up Yen Yen for you. Sometimes I really envy certain men. They can convince themselves of anything. At dinner, Catherine seated me next to Jason, Lucian sat directly opposite. Everyone's mind was elsewhere. Catherine kept piling food on my plate, retelling childhood anecdotes about Jason and me. I murmured agreement while my foot accidentally brushed Lucian's trouser leg. I lifted my eyes, checking his reaction. He definitely noticed, but his face stayed unruffled. The book says this kind of man is cold outside, hot inside. No outright refusal means I'm in. I gloated inwardly. I grew bolder, the tip of my pump gliding up along his leg. Finally he gave a fake cough, ears scarlet. I'm full, he muttered, and left for his room. What a shame. With my target gone, I wolfed down a few bites and went home. After that I dropped by the Ashford house every other day. But I never saw Lucian again, maybe he was dodging me. I opened my contacts and tapped the entry saved as Universe Level Beauty, a name I'd typed when I was 10. I'd changed phones, but the label stayed. Although I called him Little Uncle along with Jason, Lucian had always been the best-looking guy in my world. Little girls naturally crush on gorgeous, gentle older boys. After he went abroad, I'd hunted down his number and texted him my moods and greetings every so often, my salute to beauty. Only once, after a friend betrayed me, did he ask for her name. The rest of the time, radio silence. Later that girl transferred schools. I've always wondered if he engineered it. But I'd never heard he'd come back. With a sigh I sent a text. Little Uncle, why haven't I seen you these past days? 2 hours later it sank unread, predictably. The How to Seduce Grown Men manual was dog-eared but useless without a target. I wilted. Sophie assumed I was still pining over Jason and shot me a bar video. Lily, there are 3.5 billion men on this planet, don't lose hope over one. Look, black shirt guy, left front. I can feel his lean back muscles through his shirt. Prime cut. I've scoped him for you, hurry. I'd been listless, but when I caught the figure on camera I bolted upright. Lucian. The first Ashford I ran into at the speakeasy wasn't Lucian, it was Jason. Sophie grimaced. That hottie seems to know Jason, never expected him here. I wanted to cure your heartbreak, not crash you into your ex. Ex? Pfft, Jason wishes. Watching him work the room made me nauseous. Like a ghost that wouldn't stay buried. I waved Sophie off, ready to dodge, but someone pointed me out and Jason's eyes found mine. His brows pinched, yet a half-smile tugged at his lips. Lily? Here? Following me? I used to have patience for that face. Now it felt cursed. I glanced around, no Lucian, maybe gone. I rolled my eyes and slunk off to drink, bottle after bottle. Jason was busy networking, thank God, and left me alone. Several bottles in, I tottered toward the restroom, and finally saw a familiar silhouette. Wait, 2 silhouettes. Double vision. I stumbled forward, half hallucinating, and whimpered, Little Uncle, hug. Lucian shot me a surprised frown. Still gorgeous, even frowning. Whatever happened abroad, the boy who'd once been all gentle warmth now carried an Arctic chill. But those features were so perfect the cold only made him more devastating. I couldn't take it. I really couldn't. Every tactic in the book vanished. I stared, then kissed him hard. My lips met softness, a tiny moan escaped me. His body stiffened, he tried to shift away. I only clutched tighter. Soft. So fragrant. I wanted more. Short of breath, I started to pull back, then voices came from behind. My little uncle's probably already left, he hates places like this. Next time try a temple instead of a bar. Before I could react, Lucian yanked me close. I went limp, draped over him. We switched positions. He leaned in, shadowing me completely, tilting my chin, his eyes dark and swirling. A beat later desire won over reason. That cool scent blended with warm lips as he deepened the kiss. Eventually I remembered why I'd come, I needed the toilet. Panicking, I burst into tears. Off, pants off. Lucian froze, voice rough. Here? I didn't care. I shoved him away and sprinted inside. When I came out, the booze had worn off, and the man was gone. Dreamlike. I almost cried, until I spotted him again. Lucian had changed into black shot through with silver thread, long legs swallowing the dim light, a god dissolved in shadow. Those once flat eyes now burned. Little uncle? You were so drunk I didn't dare leave. I sensed his resignation, his lips were redder, my handiwork. Happiness is a moving target, so I pounced again. Whatever cologne he wore felt fever hot. Little uncle, take me home, bars are too L. Food. His Adam's apple bobbed twice. Okay. The car didn't head for the Ashford mansion but to a private estate on a ridge. No wonder the house had been empty, he'd moved here. Drunk and carsick, I collapsed the moment we stepped inside. Eyes half closed, I reeked of smoke and booze. Disgusting. I started stripping. My jacket was halfway off when someone tugged it back up. I turned, slowly realizing I was in a stranger's house. Lights blazed, Lucian's face was flushed. He looked away, resetting my collar. Stop. I only brought you here because the club was chaos. The maid will wash you up, tomorrow I'll drive you home. World, shattered. I'd thought the seduction had finally started. Tears welled. Wah, but my tongue was thick, speech mush. 2 syllables and I shut up. Actions beat words. I struck, another kiss. A low grunt, when we parted his gaze was hazy. You bit me? Then a long silence broken only by the wet sounds of kissing. In the end I showered alone, he waited outside. When he tapped later I finally woke, wrapped in a towel, asleep on the bath mat. He sighed, lifted me onto the bed. I tried to resume hostilities, but my body mutinied. As he turned to go I mustered the last of my strength and caught his hem. Maybe my desperation amused him, he leaned close. I need a shower too, wait for me. I don't know how much time passed before a damp body slipped in beside me, reviving me slightly. I groped. Damn it, clothed. I rolled, ready for round 2, but he captured my wrist. Not tonight. Sleep. My mouth drooped, tears threatened. He exhaled. Later. I didn't say never. Relieved, I curled beside him, drifting, muttering, why won't you answer my texts? Don't you like me? Nobody likes me, I like you. He sighed again, unsure, then let his palm settle on my back and gave the same gentle pats he used when I was small. I slipped into sleep to a whisper, still sleeping with your eyes half open. Creepy. I woke to an empty bed. Sophie texted a photo, last night's grainy silhouette of Lucian and me kissing, arty angle, just a sliver of my profile. Snapped this last night. Didn't want to interrupt the fun, texting now. I stared until my cheeks burned, then posted it on Instagram, delicious. Want more. Comments rolled in, oh, so you were the couple devouring each other at the bar. Moments later Jason replied. No need to shack up with gutter trash just to piss me off, speakeasy rats are nothing but trouble. The speakeasy lights were low, and Lucian had his back to Jason, of course Jason didn't recognize him. I couldn't be bothered. Rare weekend off. I sweet-talked Lucian all morning before he finally told the driver to leave without me. He did call my parents and say I'd stay for a while. They trust him completely, kept saying sure, sure on the phone, barely paying attention. All I could hear was mahjong tiles crashing and mom whooping. Pong. I win. Haha. Pretty sure I could live here a year and they wouldn't notice. I opened a recipe app ready to learn a few dishes. If I served dinner when Lucian came back, maybe I could farm a truckload of goodwill. Davis the housekeeper said he usually showed up around 8. I budgeted 2 extra hours, gave myself room for error. Only tonight he walked in way early. I was frowning at a pan of black lumps when I felt him behind me. I flushed the second I saw his face. It's unsalvageable, uncle. Lucian chuckled. He nudged me aside, rolled up his sleeves, switched pans, chopped, heated oil, one fluid routine. 10 minutes later the whole penthouse smelled like heaven. He noticed my shock. I cooked for myself the whole time I was abroad. Instant crush upgrade. The universe flipped, he just looted a mountain of brownie points from me. Can't imagine how smooth married life with this man will be. At the dining table I stared at the feast, the hottie, and the skyline beyond floor-to-ceiling glass, swallowing hard. I had found my life's purpose. So, with zero preparation and only my mouth, I said. Let's get married. Lucian, used to my mental leaps, tapped my forehead. What now? I scooted closer. You said you liked me, right? Let's tear the window paper and be done with it. He choked slightly, slipped a butter-poached shrimp between my lips. Even ambrosia can't shut you up. Don't care. I just like you. Lucian ate with elegant slowness. One night and we were already glowing, yet nothing had been locked down, zero security. I buried my face in rice, sulking. He finally set down his chopsticks. Lily, what exactly do you like about me? I blinked. You're hot? His brows pinched. I pivoted instantly. Hot? That's what you think I'd say, right? That I'm shallow. I'm not. I know your strength and your cracks. I've thought this through. I want to grow old with you. I ache for every drop of rain you've stood in. I love all of you. Uncle, don't stay on that island, let me be your little boat. Sincere words, every syllable true. His expression flickered, ears tinted maybe 40% red. Silent salute to the book make mature men crazy about you. After a beat he pressed his temples and exhaled. You win. Then he met my eyes, dead serious. Lily, you're young. I thought this might be a whim, so I wanted to give you an exit. No exit. Love uncle, kiss uncle. I cut him off. Listen, Lucian doesn't date unless it ends at the altar. I didn't have a single girlfriend abroad. If you're in, you don't get to walk out on me. His eyes were almost spilling broken glass. I won't. Looking at that face, I'd agree to anything. I dragged my chair until I was straddling his lap. Speech over, uncle? Can I kiss you now? Lucian said we'd announce us at the Ashford family banquet in a couple of weeks. Need time to brief my brother and sister-in-law first. I nodded. After all, until recently I'd been their daughter-in-law. Still, I couldn't wait. Since meeting Lucian my impulse control had flatlined. Today again I wondered if he was secretly an incubus. I tugged his hand and posted a 10-finger clasp photo on Instagram. Cheesy couple move, but with that face, who cares? His fingers are long, knuckles elegant, tips faintly pink. I slid the pre-made ring onto his left fourth finger. Last time Jason called him riffraff, I'd stewed ever since. Ring on, official claim. Let's hear Jason now. Comments exploded under the photo. OMG, that hottie from the speakeasy? You two actually got together, whose heir is he? You and Jason are really done? This pick'll kill him. Still, marriage is huge, think twice. The Ashford name is right there, no one tops Jason. Jason rang, I declined. He kept redialing, I blocked. Then a new number, I picked up and snarled, Jason, get therapy. Pfft, Lily, I know you. Saw your Instagram. You're just yanking my chain. Breakup hit hard, huh? No need to hire some model to play boyfriend. It's not fake. Then what is it? Besides me, who else do you even know? That guy, just his back and hand scream sleaze. Where'd you dig him up, central casting? Offensive. I glanced at Lucian, still unruffled, only his right hand slid to my waist, idly stroking. I hung up. Riffraff. Male model. I can't wait to see Jason's face when he realizes he insulted his own uncle. Lucian didn't make me wait long. The Ashford banquet was moved up to celebrate his return and the merger of his overseas empire with the family firm. Backstage he rehearsed his speech. I sipped champagne front row. Jason spotted me, dragged Zoe over. Lily, figured you couldn't even score a date. Told you, be gentle like Zoe, guys like that. Zoe, white dress, sapphire choker, eyes glistening, voice still steeped in green tea flavor. Cavendish sis, if Jason agrees, I'll give him back. Tonight's crowd is elite, and you look so lonely. I swirled my glass. Pass. I may be lonely, but at least I live at home, unlike some who squat after their parents were refused entry. Word is last month Zoe dragged Jason to her Southside house, a shack seconds from collapse. One rainstorm and they needed buckets. Jason pitted them, chauffeured the whole Zhou clan to the Ashford mansion, told Richard and Catherine they'd be one big happy family anyway, so why not start now? Catherine refused at first, but the Zhous threw themselves on the floor and wouldn't leave. Ashford has spare bedrooms, deal done. Now chaos reigns. Catherine phones mom daily to rant. Zoe's face darkened. Jason pities me and my folks, unlike you, can't even find a man who cares. I beamed. Sorry, got one, he's on stage. Jason looked, only Lucian and a 50-year-old bald tech guy operating the presentation screen. Lily, seriously? Dump me and downgrade to him? Bring out the model you faked, let's meet. I opened my mouth, but the spotlight blazed and Lucian began. Thank you for joining Ashford tonight. His left hand rested on the podium, the ring blazed. After the business update, his gaze softened, landing on me. Tonight, besides work, I have personal news about the woman I love. I smiled sideways at Jason and Zoe. Sorry, my date's calling. From ex-fiancé to uncle's girlfriend, slightly embarrassing. But breeding wins. I glided on stage. Lucien took my hand. Those who know me recall I left for abroad at 17. Career only, no partners, no marriage plans, largely because of past conflict with my father. Murmurs rippled. 10 years ago, Dad ran into his long-lost first love, tears, a trip to resolve old regrets. Mother found out, stormed off, died in the crash that followed. Lucien's grip tightened, I squeezed back. He gave a small reassuring nod. That history killed my faith in relationships. Yet somewhere out there, a chatty little girl wandered into my thoughts. She grew up, got engaged to Jason, who blew it. The Ashfords owe responsibility, so I'll take it. Lights spun, I could barely see. Flushed, I let him lead. Below, Jason's eyes rimmed red, brows knit, hands trembling. Zoe tugged his sleeve, no reaction. He stared, unblinking. Afterward Luke Yen was cornered for talks. I drifted aside to admire the night sky. Jason lurched over, reeking of booze. Lily, how could you date my uncle? That makes you my. He couldn't finish, just shook his head, disbelieving. I get it, Mom and Dad asked him to help, make me see sense. Maybe I don't hate you. I'll let you start over, come chase me. My lip twitched. Jason, get therapy. Lucien arrived, grabbed Jason's collar, and tossed him back. Sober up. Nobody's playing Epiphany games with you. Jason stammered, impossible. You too, no one ever said. Lucien smiled thinly. Sorry, guy you saw making out with her at the speakeasy, the model you mocked on Instagram, that was me. If the old man's mess hadn't happened, the one engaged to Lily would have been me in the first place. I only heard the full story from my mother later. Back then, she and the Ashford parents kept exchanging these knowing grins whenever they looked at me. They said it had always been meant to happen. The day I was born, Lucien took one look at the pink, wrinkly bundle and gently poked me with a finger. I giggled, so he giggled too. After that he came over every other day, announcing I was way cuter than Jason. The two families started teasing. They joked I should be his child bride. 7-year-old Lucien frowned and said that wasn't right. Child bride is disrespectful. You never asked if she'd want it, and she's still a baby. Adults shouldn't joke like that. But when she grows up and can think it over, I'll ask if she'd like to marry me. Ever since the last banquet, Jason seemed to evaporate from my life. I couldn't be bothered to care. Uncle smells heavenly. I'm almost embarrassed to admit how well I'm eating these days. Lucien has always worked out. He'd had zero experience before, but he learned fast. Turns out we're extremely compatible. A few days later Jason rang me out of the blue. I picked up, silence hung for several beats. I said hello twice, no answer, and was about to hang up when a muffled sob leaked through. Lily, come get me, please. I've drunk way too much. My brows knitted tight. Call your family driver. Why me? But you always used to pick me up. Listen, I finally get it. I truly love you. I just mistook that love for lifelong dependence. I even started hating the feeling and tried to shake you off, which is why I messed around with Zhou Yanyan. She was nothing but a fling. Oh. Afraid he'd redial nonstop, I switched to speaker, parked the phone beside me, and started a drama on my tablet. I never meant to break the engagement. I just hadn't seen my own heart and let Zhou Yanyan fool me. Now I know, you're the one who stayed by my side as I grew up. Are you still willing to grow old with me? Hey, stop right there. I disagree, dumping everything on a woman is pathetic. Listen, sleaze is your own fault, don't blame her. Sure, the mistress isn't innocent, but you're equally guilty. Throwing her under the bus is low. Planning to lecture him like an elder, I'd barely opened my mouth when Lucien stepped out of the shower, hair still damp. On the other end Jason, blind to danger, kept pleading. Lily, I was wrong. I'm younger than my uncle, give me a shot. After you try me you'll fall for me again. Lucien's face darkened, he plucked the phone from my hand. Handle it tomorrow. Your aunt and I are going to bed. Oh, starting tomorrow your allowance is cut, maybe sobriety will clear your head. Zhou Yanyan found me. Same stubborn little flower act, but fatigue clouded her face, life had obviously been rough. Lily, how can you be so heartless? Do you know what Jason has become because of you? Eyes rimmed red, she shoved her phone at me, a video played. Jason lay drunk on the floor, babbling regrets. He cried and retched, a revolting sight. Ugh. I quickly pushed the phone away. Keep that filth away from me. I can't stand pretty people debasing themselves. How dare you talk about Jason like that? You two were engaged. You're only dating. His uncle to spite him, you vicious. Hey, Nyen Nyen, wake up. Honestly, I don't want Jason, stop venting on me. You just can't hold on to him, loser. Can't even nail a man, so how will you nail a life? Pathetic. Zhou Nyen Nyen flopped back, arms limp, mouth drooping, and burst into noisy tears. You have no idea how hard I worked for a sliver of his attention. Spoiled princesses like you don't understand. While I scavenged trash, you practiced piano. When your family hugged you, I was beaten for taking an extra bite at dinner. I have no fallback, my parents will kill me. I just want a decent life, what's wrong with that? You have everything and still scold me for failing. I scratched my head, uneasy. If she'd kept playing green tea, I could have kept slapping back. But snot and tears blurred together, and I lost my script. Why is life so unfair? You excel at everything, and even after losing one guy an even better one swoops in. Me? I've only got parents who drag me down. I fumbled for tissues, the pack slipped, smacking her in the face. Ow. You hit me, fine, I deserve it, go on, hit me again. Quit bawling, you're giving me a migraine. I didn't think about your side, but I wasn't obliged to. Breaking us up was wrong from the start. I know, sob, but my parents beat me. They said no rich husband, no home. And I hate finance, I love painting. I just want to paint. She cried herself dizzy while I paced, finally hauling her to the Ashford mansion. We arrived just as Catherine's furious voice rang out. A family like this could never produce a decent daughter. I'd rather die than let Zhou Nyen Nyen cross my threshold. Seeing me, Catherine cooled a notch and sat stiffly on the sofa. The butler filled me in. Zhou's family wasn't poor by accident, gambling father, vain mother. Her dad had stolen Richard's watch, pawned it, blown the cash, then staggered home drunk. When Catherine passed without a greeting, he grabbed her hair and cursed. Security roughed him up. Her MOT. Her caught the spectacle and wailed louder. No way. Your son let us move in, kicking us out won't be that easy. Right. Your son slept with my girl. We don't want cash, marriage. Give our daughter a name. Catherine clenched her teeth. Fine. Jason will marry Zhou Nyen Nyen. Jason couldn't tell whether to smile or cry. Mom, let me think, Catherine snorted. You brought that woman to kowtow at grandfather's funeral without thinking. Now you need time? Listen, the Ashford family will never be in-laws with gutter trash, but since you stirred the mess, you'll lick it up. Nyen Nyen's parents cheered. Exactly. A real man takes responsibility. Set the date fast, then we're family. Richard sighed while Catherine barked, he'll be family with you. The rest of us are done. Jason blinked, dazed. Mom, what do you mean? Your father and I decided to cut you off and have another child. Impossible. You're almost 50. Your mother-in-law was 50 when she had Lucien. I've seen specialists, no problems. No way. Jason and Nyen Nyen's clan were shipped back to Southside. I spotted someone crouched outside my gate. As I neared, he sprang up, Jason, hair disheveled. He stretched his hands toward me, palms cupping something. Puzzled, I asked, what is it? His ears reddened. You forgot? The wood-carved pony you gave me when we were 9. I found it. In the moonlight I saw it clearly, yes, the little horse I'd whittled for his birthday after getting hooked on carving. I'd handed it over, he'd sneered it was ugly, then claimed he'd tossed it. I hadn't minded, wood is free, anything else costs money. And these. One by one he produced every birthday gift I'd ever given him. Lily, you were always in my heart. I kept them all. We have all these memories, don't tell me you've stopped loving me. I never loved him to begin with. The pile was just sloppy crafts, half of them failures. Jason, stop bothering me. Your uncle and I are getting engaged. He looked shattered. Think again, L. Eily. I'm younger than my uncle, stronger. Give me one chance and you'll want me back. My eye twitched, I smacked his head. Have some self-respect. Your uncle beats you in looks, temper, skill, and, oh, right, clean history. So, no chance. Watching him blanch, I started toward the house. Halfway I turned back. Come to think of it, you never actually gave me anything. I take cash, transfer the total. I walked inside without a backward glance. I paid for Nyen Nyen's art school. Promised to pry her free of her parents. In exchange, she spends terms traveling to a mountain school for girls, most have it tougher than she ever did. I'll sell her paintings through my channels, half the proceeds fund their escape from the hills. She nodded. Later she treated me to dinner, drank too much, and rattled on. My real name on my ID is Zhou Nyen Nyen. She said she loathed me at first. Lily, sometimes I wondered how anyone could be that lucky, getting everything I wanted without effort. When you called me useless, I hated you more. I'd think, what do you know? While I scavenged trash, you played piano. While your family hugged you, I was beaten for grabbing one extra bite. I almost couldn't go to college. I only got in by promising I'd hook a rich husband. Who are you to mock me? I fight tooth and nail. I hate you. But thank you, for letting me paint. And for showing me that circumstances don't excuse the wrong we do. Thank you. I looked up at the stars. That's enough booze, don't puke on me. Things will get better, spend the rest of your life becoming the adult you dreamed of. I had someone drive her home. Wrapping my coat, I reached the curb, someone was waiting. I jogged and leapt into his arms. Lucien caught me, palms closing around my chilly fingers. Uncle, been waiting long? Not long, but I missed you like crazy.